I will tell you that New York City is increasingly a place where everyone who lives there knows the crime thing is out of control. There's often now violent stuff happening involving people that have long criminal histories that you feel like should have been taken off the streets a long time ago. Jen Psaki, though, and the elite lib consensus on this stuff, the apparatus of the Democrat Party, they're out there trying to tell you, what is this even talking about? Like, what do you even mean with crime? What is soft on crime? Like, excuse me, sir. Like, I don't even know what a soft on crime thing means. You mean like soft, like velvet is soft? Like, what do you even mean, sir? Here's Jen Psaki explaining what's going on. Play it.
If you look at Fox on a daily basis, I mean, do you remember the 4 boxes that we had on all the TVs? So right now, just to give you a sense, so CNN, Pentagon, as many as 8,500 U.S. troops on heightened alert. Okay, true. Same on MSNBC. CNBC is doing their own thing about the market. And then on Fox is Jeanine Pirro talking about soft on crime consequences. I mean, what does that even mean? Right. So there's an alternate universe on some coverage. What's scary about it is a lot of people watch that.
Right. She's listening to the alternate universe coverage because everyone listening to this knows what soft on crime is. Every person with an IQ above that of a toaster knows what soft on crime means. It's Democrat policies that result in criminals not getting arrested, not getting prosecuted, not being punished, back out on the streets, undermining police. We go down the whole list. This isn't complicated, Clay. And so you wonder at some point, do they get some joy out of gaslighting us with their stupidity on these issues? Or is she really just that silly? I mean, that unserious as a person in America today?
Well, it's worth pointing out, and I don't think it's discussed enough, Fox News has more independent viewers than CNN and MSNBC. And some parts of the day, it nearly has more Democrat-leaning viewers in terms of total audience. I mean, it is a destruction. And people all over America know exactly what that means. And so a part of me, Buck, in all honesty, I don't even necessarily know that she's gaslighting, although I think there's an element of that. I really do believe that they don't know what America really is. I think that's one of the big issues with the Democratic Party now. They are so New York and LA, so coastal based, that they don't really understand what ordinary Americans are talking about. This is why I always think it's important that I'm based in Nashville and that so much of what I've done in the past has been about going around to college football stadiums, showing up for audiences of 100,000 in some of these small towns all over the country where 100,000 people show up to watch a football game. They're the Fox News viewer. And I think it is incredibly difficult to sometimes keep your hands wrapped around what the real world is like when you are hitting refresh constantly on your cell phone and only reading what left-wing blue checks are sharing and talking about on a day-to-day basis. They are clueless about what the larger American population is concerned about. And honestly, That's why inflation, there's no plan. That's why there's no plan on crime. That's why there's no plan really on COVID and how to get back to normalcy, because they're serving an artificial audience inside of their phones.
I mean, it's laughable that anybody who watches CNN or reads the New York Times these days religiously would think they have a grip on what affects normal Americans and what concerns them. They're running constant stories about an insurrection that wasn't even an insurrection, that was a riot that's not a concern for normal people day in and day out. I mean, what are they even talking about, Clay? They're living they want to talk about fantasyland? They're creating daily fantasyland. But that's why we're here, folks. Reality. It's a good place to be with Clay and Buck.